Hey guys, real quick before even the intro to the Rant Show even starts, I want to say something up front before this video starts. What I'm about to talk about or rant about is something that I personally believe, and then I see the way something is going or is happening. I'm not saying that what I'm about to talk about or rant about is 100% true, but this is just my personal view on the matter. So I might be true, half of it might be true, or none of it might be true. But from what facts I'm about to pull up and show you, to stuff that's already happened that we know about, I'm going to be presenting it as almost evidence to the way I see things are going, or have been going. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, this is 100% true. I'm not saying any of it's true. But this is just my personal view on the matter. So please, before you just come out and say, yeah, Karu's true, what he's saying is the truth, I'm asking you to please do your own research, come to your conclusions. I might be wrong on what I'm about to talk about. I might be right. Or I might be half right. But what I'm about to give is my own personal view on the matter. It might be true, it might be false, but that's just the way I see things as the way they are right now. With that being said, let's get on into the video.
Turn me up, so. Whoa. Turn me up, so.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Rant Show. Like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, please just take my word for what it is for a grain of salt. What I'm about to talk about, what I'm about to say, my own personal view on the matter is, please don't take it as 100% true. This is the way that I'm viewing things right now, how the way I see things are going, and just the way I see them as at this point. Please, like I said, don't take my word as 100% truth. Go do your own research, go form your own opinions on the matter, and come to your conclusions. This is just the way I personally see things, my own personal view on the way things are right now in dealing with what I'm about to talk about. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Wall Street Journal. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Polygon and every other bit of news outlet out there, no matter what they cover, whether they might be covering the business as side of things, the entertainment side of things, the video game side of things. I'm sure most of you are familiar with these places. But as people who watch YouTube, when I say stuff like Wall Street Journal, I'm sure there is some instances or certain people that come to mind. And I'll be referencing some of those here in a minute. The reason why I mentioned places like Wall Street Journal and Polygon and in general other news outlets is because this is something I've wanted to talk about a while, and some of the stuff I know I'm talking about is stuff people have already mentioned a while ago, have talked about a while ago, so I might be a little late on the train here when talking about this stuff, but it's something I've wanted to talk about for a while, so I'm going to talk about it. I think a lot of the reasons why certain news outlets put hit pieces, and they are hit pieces, on YouTubers and YouTube in general is because, in a way, they're mad with YouTube. Because YouTube, with the platform it is offering more than these sites, these news outlets can. Because let's face it, there's millions and upon millions of channels out there now. There's hundreds upon thousands of news shows on these channels. And there's more a variety of the type of news that people like to watch on YouTube than there is on these news outlets. because most of these news outlets only cover one specific thing. And the fact that some of these viewers, because YouTube offers more, is going away from places like the Wall Street Journal and Polygon and going to YouTube for their information now, that's making these news outlets lose their viewers and inevitably lose some of their money. And this is getting them mad, and this is why I believe a lot of news outlets out there are putting hit pieces on YouTube and YouTubers in general, whether these hit pieces be true or a lot of times whether they be not true. And yes, of course, since I mentioned Wall Street Journal, I'm going to mention the whole incident with PewDiePie. Because let's face it, for anyone who's even bothered to watch the videos that Wall Street Journal attacked PewDiePie with, that he did, if anyone, whether you're a fan of PewDiePie or not, if you actually took the time with an open mind to watch those videos, what Wall Street Journal was claiming those videos was not true. Yes, they're dark humor, they're a little dark satired, but those videos, believe it or not, were about a specific point. But places like the Wall Street Journal and Polygon and other places viewed the videos as a different way. Now, whether they just didn't get the point behind the videos, or they just didn't like PewDiePie, is a whole nother matter. They automatically labeled PewDiePie as a racist. And the reason why I believe they did this, and stuff that they've done in the past, and stuff that they've done recently, is because they don't like YouTube. YouTube is taking away their viewers. So they figure if they take the face of YouTube, which PewDiePie was considered at the time, and is still somewhat considered today, if they take the face of YouTube and besmudge him as much as possible, this would hurt YouTube. This would take away some of YouTube's viewers, and hopefully they would come back to them. And they also figured, hey, since we're going to put the face of YouTube's name on an article, people just for that alone will read the article. So we'll get views on said article. But that's why I think they did it. Is because at the time, PewDiePie was the face of YouTube. Was considered the face of YouTube. And these news articles out there, since for a while now they've been taking away their viewers, their money, they want to hurt YouTube. They want people to come back to them. So they want to hurt YouTube. So they go after the face of said YouTube. Now, I bet you dollars to donuts if Wall Street Journal and other places actually looked at the actual meaning behind PewDiePie's videos, they wouldn't have labeled him as a racist. They would have at least slightly understood the meaning behind his videos and not did what they did. If they actually understood what the videos were about, or the other side of things, they actually knew what the videos were about, they actually watched them, and still wanted to come out with articles the way they did, just to hurt him, and just to hurt YouTube. That's also a possibility. And there's another, and not just, just to reference PewDiePie's channel alone, and what Wall Street Journal has done to him, but even the interview that happened a while back between BBC News and Dan TDM. There are some people out there who think that the interviewer and BBC News in general is being a little, let's just call it unfair to Dan TDM in the way they were asking him some of the questions, like referencing how much money he made using his real name, which there's a whole rumor going around that Dan TDM was not exactly happy that they put his full name out there. But I'm going to have to, on referencing that, I'm probably going to say I'm going to have to agree with what another YouTuber by the name of Day by Dave said. He went over the interview and over on his own channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. And he pretty much said that a lot of the stuff that the interviewer was asking Dan, that she didn't completely understand the way YouTube worked, or behind certain things Dan TDM would correct her on, and she accepted the correction and she said okay, and they moved on. So I think in overall that interview went over smoothly. They paid each other respect. The interviewer paid Dan TDM respect. Dan TDM paid her respect. And in Day by Day's words, as far as interviews between news outlets and YouTubers go, that was a step in the right direction, and I agree with him on that. But unfortunately, not all news outlets are like that. Going back to the whole thing between Wall Street Journal and PewDiePie, is even before that whole, thing happened, one of PewDiePie's first interviews that he ever had with any news outlet after he started getting really big was with Wall Street Journal. Some of you already know this. And pretty much after their interview, their article came out about him. The article made PewDiePie sound like a snob. Like, almost right away, Wall Street Journal went after PewDiePie, even before that whole video issue thing happened. And then you have words. You have news outlets out there like Polygon, who also hopped on that bandwagon when the whole Wall Street Journal was calling PewDiePie racist whole thing happened, and jumped on the bandwagon of that and started doing the same thing. And hell, let's face it, if you just go on Google alone and type in PewDiePie and Polygon in the same thing and hit search, there are still hit pieces that Polygon's doing on PewDiePie every once in a while. Hell, PewDiePie even covered one of them in one of his videos a couple months ago. And I firmly believe that, and that, once again, this is my own opinion on the matter, I think some news outlets out there want to take YouTube down as much as possible, want to take down these YouTubers as much as possible because of the simple fact that people at this point would rather go over to YouTube and watch their news there, watch their videos there, see what the world has to say there, instead of these news outlets, no matter what the news outlets might cover. And so, these news outlets are losing their viewers. They are losing their money. So, in return, to try and take YouTube down a notch, they put out these hit pieces on YouTubers and against YouTube. To try, and first of all, just figuring that if they put their YouTuber's name in said article, that the name alone would get people to view their article. And second, just because any bad press on these YouTubers and YouTube would hurt YouTube and hopefully bring some of their viewers back to them. And I know some of you might be saying, well, Karu, I mean the viewing and the visiting ratio between Wall Street Journal and places like Polygon against YouTube, I mean, there's probably not that bad of a difference, is there? And oh, would you be wrong? I'm on right now. I'm on, and I'll screen cap it and show it to you somewhere on here, so you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm on a website right now called Similar to Web, where they show the internet traffic going in and out of certain websites. And just off their websites alone, YouTube right now, their global ranking is 3. Of course, with 1, obviously being the highest. Their US ranking alone is 3. Their category rank, which they have them listed under arts and entertainment, is number 1. Now, if you go down to traffic overview, and this is people that come in to visit YouTube's website, their total visits from August 2017 till now is 26.9 billion, with an average visit duration of almost 20 minutes. And this is going off of just their websites alone. This is not even, them on these news outlets, their average viewing on TV, or the places that even put out newspapers, people that actually buy their newspapers, just going off their websites alone. Now, Wall Street Journal's website, their global ranking, and the ranking of how much people view their site alone, their global ranking is 1, and keep in mind, this is, 1 being the highest and then going down. Their global ranking is 1,292 at the moment. Their U.S. ranking is 317, and their category ranking, which is news and media, is 5. And their traffic overview of people just visiting their site alone, their total visits from August 2017 till now is only at 70.28 million, with an average visit duration of just 3 minutes. So people aren't even on their site that long. And then, I'll pull them up too, Polygon, since they love to make hit pieces on YouTubers and YouTube too, their global ranking, 2,690. Their US ranking, 876. Their category ranking, which they are listed under games and video games, is 40. Their traffic overview of the average people visiting their site from August 2017 till now is 43.93 million, with a visit duration of only 1 minute and 43 seconds. So not even a whole 2 minutes people are on that site. So take all that into account. And YouTube is blowing them, just off their sites alone, is blowing them out of the water. And this is just one of the many points, one of the many reasons why I think places like Wall Street Journal and places like Polygon and other news outlets like to put hit pieces on YouTubers and YouTube, especially when they're not true. Is because they figure if they put their name in the title, 1, that'll get them views, and 2, if they make the YouTuber or YouTube look bad, hopefully they'll get some viewers to come back from YouTube over to them, because they're covering the real news. And the people that they think the way they are aren't. So you could come listen to us, because we give you the real news on the real people out there. And places like that, I'm sorry, they don't give a shit who they hurt when they do shit like that. And it's not just the YouTubers that they are hurting. Because newsflash, a lot of YouTubers out there now have a whole list of people they employ behind them to help make their channels what they are. So when people do shit like this, it's not just the YouTubers they're hurting. They're hurting people's literal jobs. Because these YouTubers employ people. They pay them. So you're hurting them too. Like when not YouTube, but Wall Street Journal went after PewDiePie. And PewDiePie lost his deal with Maker. PewDiePie's dream of Revel Mode went under. And, PewDiePie, Scared PewDiePie Season 2 went bye-bye. It wasn't just PewDiePie that Wall Street hurt. Felix had people employed to help run Revel Mode. YouTube had people employed that busted their ass to make Scared PewDiePie Season 2 the best it could be. And now no one's gonna see it. And now Revel Mode's no longer in existence. When news articles put out hit pieces like that, especially when they're not true, and they hurt people that bad, it's not just the YouTubers they are hurting. And this is why I wanted to rant about this, because especially if you type in YouTube, if you type in, especially because even places like Polygon, they're still going after PewDiePie. Hell, a few months back, PewDiePie even made a video talking about one of the most recent hit pieces that Polygon put against him. There's places that are even still to this day going after him and other YouTubers like Polygon and other news outlets. Just because of the name alone, that'll get them views to read their article. And they'll get their money. Who cares if they hurt the YouTuber and the people that the YouTuber employs? This is why I want to talk about this, because shit like this pisses me off. News flash. Wall Street Journal, news flash. Polygon, news flash. Other news outlets out there. If you don't get with the times, if you don't evolve what you're doing, then you lose views. You lose your money. You want to know why people go over to YouTube? You want to know why people watch these YouTubers instead of visiting your sites, reading your papers, watching your TV shows? It's because YouTube offers more. If you don't adapt with the times and offer more than you are right now, that is why you're losing views. That is why you're losing money. And it's no one else's fault but your own that you are doing that is happening. So your shitty ass moves to try and make YouTube and other YouTubers look bad, just so you can get your views back, just so you can get people to read your articles again, is fucked up. And it hurts more people than you know. It hurts the people that the YouTubers employ. If it really damages the YouTuber's reputation and their channel, it's hurting the people that these YouTubers have helped with their videos. Especially if the articles you're putting out aren't true. And it's even more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's even more messed up when the articles you put out that aren't true, you know aren't true, and you put them out anyway. Just so you can get your views. Just so you can get people to read your article. Like I said, if Wall Street Journal, whether it was intentional or not, but let's say it wasn't. Like they didn't do their proper research and they didn't actually look through YouTube, PewDiePie's videos and try to, open-mindedly try to understand what those videos were about. If they did, none of this would ever happen. Now, they could have fully, like I said, understood what the videos were, what PewDiePie was trying to do in those videos. And they could have put the piece against them anyway, just to get people to look at Wall Street Journal's direction again. That's also a possibility, but I just don't know why. I don't know why. Well, no, I do know why. Well, I think I know why. A lot of news outlets put these hit pieces against YouTube and YouTubers. It's because people would rather go over to YouTube and listen to them than go over to Polygon, to Wall Street Journal, and other websites and watch them. And to even hit on another topic about this, I'm sure we're all familiar with the whole adpocalypse thing. And the whole fact that, news outlets, news articles once again went out and pointed out how ads were being put on top of videos that were considered bad, that were considered hate speeches, and against videos that might not have been exactly advertiser-friendly or kid-friendly. So places like Coke and Pepsi and other places that endorsed YouTube before pulled out. And H3H3, and when they had an interview with Shane Dawson recently, they even mentioned this. If you go over to TV, there are times when places like CNN and Fox and others have covered natural disasters and other things, and then, oh look, we'll put our video right up here so we can continue the coverage, but all around that small area, ad for Pepsi, ad for Coke, commercial, commercial, commercial. Newsflash, companies, your ads on TV are already getting placed on top of shows that might be controversial, on top of stuff that YouTube says they won't put their ads on like natural disasters and whatnot. But then your same ads are getting played on top of natural disasters that are happening on TV, that are getting covered on TV. So what's the fucking difference? If you're not going to allow it on YouTube, why the fuck are you allowing it on TV? It don't make sense to me. You allow your ads to be played on TV on top of all this stuff that's controversial. Sorry if you're hearing that, my neighbors are loud. But you won't allow your ads to be played on YouTube over the same stuff. How the fuck does that make any sense? Sorry, I just had to mention that real quick too while I was thinking about it. But getting back to what I was talking about, this was the whole thing I wanted to rant about this rant show. Is I wanted to rant about the fact that I wanted to rant about why I think a lot of news outlets like Wall Street Journal and Polygon are putting hit pieces against YouTubers and YouTube. It's not because they generally care. Now, I'm not saying all news outlets are like this, but some are, in my opinion. It's not because they generally care, it's just because they want to knock down YouTube and YouTubers a peg just for their views, so they can get views. And for the simple fact that they hope that if they knock YouTube down a peg, they can get some of their viewership back. Because right now, as I just pointed out, just with their websites alone, there is more people visiting YouTube right now than their sites. YouTube is blowing them out of the water. So they're hoping if they knock YouTube down a peg, they can get some of their viewership away from YouTube and over to them. They're hoping that they put YouTube's name in a big bold letters in the title of their articles, and YouTubers' names in big bold letters in their articles, they'll get some viewers back. And they do not care if they hurt those YouTubers and the people that those YouTubers employ in the process. And it's especially fucked up when the articles they put out, they don't do their research for, so they misrepresent what the YouTubers did or have done, or they know what the intent behind the YouTuber the intent behind what the YouTuber did, and they don't care anyway, but still twist it in a way to make the YouTubers look bad. That's especially fucked up, and that's what I wanted to rant about, because that's what I think the way some things are going down. And yes, like Day by Dave said in the interview, dealing with the interview between BBC and Dan TDM, even though there is somewhat of controversy behind the way BBC handled things in the interview, for the most part, I agree with Dave by Dave in the fact that they showed each other respect during the entire interview, and that the interview overall went smoothly, and that was a step in the right direction between news outlets and YouTubers. But unfortunately, there are still some news outlets out there that do not give a fuck. That they will put what they have to put out just so they get their viewers back, even if it hurts more people than they know. Just so they can knock YouTube and YouTubers down a peg. Just so they can get their views. And that's fucked up. That is messed up. Hopefully what I ranted about made some sense, and hopefully you've understood the point and the reasoning behind this entire rant. With that being said, I'm going to leave it off here, guys. As always, peace, love, and chicken grease. O4L. I'll see all my Spark Watchers later. As always, welcome to my domain. And as always, and forever, peace.